Now in the News 3 Now at 6, as the CrossFit Games take over Madison, hear from why the founder wouldn't want the games anywhere else. And dozens of book lovers are showing their support for a local store ahead of a big move. Plus, the latest details from the mass shooting this afternoon in El Paso, Texas.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thanks for joining the News 3 Now at 6. I'm Adam Duxter. Amanda Quintana is off tonight. We're following a developing story out of El Paso, Texas tonight, where multiple people were killed at a shopping center this afternoon. El Paso police say at least 19 people were killed and 40 were injured at least at a Walmart near the Cielo Vista Mall. Sergeant Robert Gomez says investigators believe a white man in his 20s was the only gunman involved, and he has been taken into custody. CBS confirmed the suspect, captured on surveillance video entering the store, is 21-year-old Patrick Crucius. On the shooting, President Trump tweeted, "Terrible shootings in El Paso, Texas. Reports are very bad, many killed. Working with state and local authorities and local law enforcement." Trump says he also talked with Texas Governor Greg Abbott to pledge the support of the federal government. We'll continue following the story tonight at 10. And now we will get a look at your first alert weather with meteorologist Dana Fulton. Dana, could we see some showers later on tonight?
In fact, some people are already seeing some showers and thunderstorms. It really depends on which side of town you may be on. Most of that outflow boundary pushing into the eastern edge of southern Wisconsin. Here's a look at our Doppler track right now. A lot of lightning with these storms coming on through. As you can see, the southeast corner of Dane County right now, we do have some heavier rainfall around Stoughton and stretching down into Rock and Greene County right now. Edgerton seeing some showers. Some light showers just west of Oakland. Again, that line is going to continue to sink southwest, so we'll watch those showers and thunderstorms again push into Rock and Greene County. And overall, it should be just these isolated storms passing through this evening. But where the storms are popping up, our temperatures are cooling down quite a bit. 75 in Janesville, while it's 84 in Monroe. A little humid outside today. We're looking at a warm and humid day tomorrow, but we'll take a closer look at what's ahead for the second half of your weekend in just a few minutes.
Dana, thank you. More local news now. It's the first weekend day of the CrossFit Games, which means even bigger crowds at the Alliant Energy Center. Our Keely Arthur spoke to the man who created it all and explains why he loves hosting here in Madison.
Hi, you guys. We are at the CrossFit Games. It is the third day of the games, and who better to speak to than the man who created CrossFit? We are here with Greg Glassman. Thank you so much for joining us, Greg. And what does it mean to have the CrossFit Games here in Madison?
Well, we came from an area in Los Angeles where the games had been for 6 or 7 years, and it wasn't a family area. I had our agent and our attorney both had their cars broken into and the rear seats taken out of their SUVs. And I got kids, a bunch of them, and all my staff has kids, and so we needed a family place. I'd never been to Madison, but I knew it by reputation. So I sent a contingent out here, and they said it's amazing, and I knew it was going to be the right place to be.
Yeah, I mean, Madison's a fit city, but I've lived here for a while. I don't always think of it, associated with CrossFit. Now I do, but was it easy for you to kind of draw those two things together?
Super easy. Yeah, it's a very natural fit.
How does one create CrossFit? Why did you create this, and what started you on this journey?
Well, I knew the world was working out wrong, and I was a competitive gymnast, and you couldn't be a gymnast and think that lateral raises and curls and leg extensions and reading the newspaper on the life cycle was going to get you fit. It's certainly better than nothing, but it's closer to nothing than it is to optimal.
CrossFit Games going to stay here in Madison for a while?
Yes. Yeah. Unless you throw us out.
We won't throw you out.
Good. We're very, very happy here. Yeah, the community is perfect. Perfect.
Well, we're having a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Greg Glassman, the creator of the CrossFit Games and CrossFit in general. I'll send it back to you.
This is the third year Madison has hosted the CrossFit Games, and officials expect the event to bring in $10 million of direct consumer spending to the city. Officials are investigating a brush fire in Columbia County this morning, where they found used fireworks nearby. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office received the report of a fire at French's Creek Wildlife Area in Fort Winnebago just after 11 o'clock. Now, deputies say the group who called in was fishing in the area when they noticed fireworks going off behind them. They later saw a fire break out in a dry brush area near the parking lot. Officials say the fire was roughly half the size of a football field. No reports of injuries or property damage. Police do say 2 men in their 20s were seen in the area before the fire was discovered. After more than a decade of business, a local bookshop is closing its doors in the Westgate Mall. Gabriella Becerra shares what's next for the Friends of the Sequoia Library.
The Friends of Sequoia Library holds 2 sales every month, giving all proceeds to Madison's public library's Sequoia Library. They're closing their doors because of potential redevelopment of Westgate Mall, but they already have their sights set on the next place. The store sells discounted books, movies, and music, and thanks to their discount corner, customers can walk out with bags overflowing with books, all for only a couple of dollars. The store is run by volunteers and their merchandise is all donated. President Nadine Fotenhauer says they're sad to say goodbye to this store, but they're excited for their next location.
Things change, we change too, and change is always good. We're excited about this new location. We're excited about being close to other stores that are also more like secondhand stores.
Their final sale is at this store at Westgate Mall is on August 17th. The Friends of Sequoia Library will be closed in September, but they'll be back in business in Market Square come October. I will have more about their move tonight on News 3 Now at 10.
We'll see you then. Thanks, Gabby. Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett says a new electric scooter program in the city is drawing some complaints. Barrett issued a stern warning yesterday about the use of scooters on sidewalks. He says it makes it harder for older people, people with disabilities, and pet owners to get around. The city's received more than 100 complaints after the program started last month with 500 scooters. Barrett says the program could be canceled if these problems don't stop. Also in Milwaukee, a driver plowed through a crowd gathered for an anti-violence rally on the city's north side. Community members were gathering to promote peace. No one was hurt in the incident. The Stop the Violence rally brought together families who lost loved ones to violence in the city. About 40 people were escorted by police as they walked through the streets when the car made a left turn nearly into the crowd. A South Dakota chapter of the ACLU says it's concerned about the high-altitude balloons conducting surveillance tests across the Midwest. Reports say that up to 25 balloons are being launched from South Dakota and will drift over Midwestern states, including Wisconsin. FCC filings say the balloons are meant to provide persistent surveillance to locate drug trafficking and homeland security threats. The ACLU says this kind of surveillance violates privacy of citizens and says the military needs to be more clear about the information it's collecting. 5 houses in Dane County are getting a makeover today from Paint-A-Thon volunteers. Paint-A-Thon is a project run through Project Home, an organization that has painted more than 500 houses over its 31 years of painting. The program chooses applicants who fall into a low to moderate income for Dane County. This summer, Project Home is working with senior citizen homeowners who are no longer able to physically paint their homes themselves. For people like Betsy Geffert, Project Home also fixed up her gutter, porch, and roof through its Hammer with a Heart program this past spring.
From what has been done with Project Home, the physical aspect of the house, I mean, I can stay here. I keep saying if I had my washer and dryer on the first floor, I would stay forever.
The goal is to allow them to live in their home with dignity, and it just gives them a couple more years. Their house looks great after we're done.
Project Home worked with Geffert for a year to prepare for today's event. It was the first time Geffert and her house had been painted in 23 years. Vegans and animal rights activists gathered at the second annual Madison Vegan Fest today. The fest informs participants on protecting animals, the environment, and one's health. Speakers and chefs shared their insight on vegan diets at cooking demonstrations, and multiple food vendors also came to the event, some to sample their products and others to sell hot meals. All of the food was vegan, even the macaroni and cheese and chicken drumsticks.
It's really just about trying new things, taking it slow, starting out with an event like this where you can ask whatever questions you need.
Anyone with questions on veganism, animal rights, or concerns about a vegan diet was also able to visit the Ask a Vegan table. Coming up next on the News 3 Now at 6, before you head out and make another road trip this summer, Consumer Reports is reminding you to check one thing on your car. Welcome back. For many drivers, summer means the call of the open road. But before you head out, Josh Spreiter for Consumer Reports says along with packing your suitcases and snacks, you should also spend a few minutes checking your tires.
Being proactive about tire maintenance now can help with safety and also save you money in the long run.
Big changes in temperature, like from winter to spring to summer, can really affect tire pressure. Check the air pressure level on your tires and adjust it to the number listed on the tire information placard found on the driver's door jamb. Properly inflated tires last longer and make your car more fuel efficient. This is a good time to check the pressure on your car's spare tire, too.
You're going to want to inspect all 4 of your tires to check for any cuts or cracks or blisters or any damage from hitting a pothole or a curb.
It's also a good time to check on how worn your tires have become.
You can check the tread depth of your tires using a quarter. So put it head down into one of the grooves of the tire, and if you can see the top of George Washington's head, it means it's time to start shopping for new tires.
Worn tires tend to stop longer on wet pavement and hydroplane on water more frequently. If it is time for new tires, CR recommends the Michelin Cross Climate Plus all-weather tires. With this Consumer Reports, I'm Josh Spreiter for News 3 Now.
Consumer Reports says it also may be time to rotate your tires. You'll find that info in your car's owner's manual. Regular rotations keep the tires wearing evenly and can make them last even longer. Coming up, a unique festival has hundreds of people traveling to the Madison area. Find out why today's festivities have people coming back for seconds every year.
And right now we do have some isolated showers and thunderstorms passing on through, but we'll take a closer look at what's ahead for the rest of the evening and tomorrow right after the break.
People from across the country are enjoying a special event in Middleton today to honor a very special condiment. National Mustard Day featured games, food, music, even a special mustard-flavored custard from Culver's. One organizer says this event is one of his favorite days.
And people are just happy to be here. They're very supportive. The city of Middleton is fabulous. They welcomed us 10 years ago when we arrived, and they expect there to be mustard day, and we are always happy to oblige.
The theme of this year's festival is Carpe Dijon, or Squeeze the Day. And now, as we get a look at your first alert weather, I got to ask Dana, are we going to be able to relish in the weather over the next couple of days?
Oh, you're so clever. Yeah, I think that you're going to be okay with the summer-like weather for the next few days. Now, right now, we do have some showers moving on through, a few thunderstorms also. Here's a live look with our Edgewater sky cam of downtown, some dark skies just to the south and east of Madison. We had a few raindrops falling downtown just a few minutes ago. As we look at our Doppler track, you can see this line passing through with some more storms up to the north. They're dealing with stronger thunderstorms to the north along a front, and then these storms passing through for us now are going to continue to travel southwest. So looking towards Janesville or even into parts of Greene County. As those showers slide south, you're going to be dealing with potentially some heavier rainfall at times and some stronger wind gusts with these isolated storms. But as we were talking about all week, the entire area is not dealing with these storms coming through. Again, it's just some isolated spots for us right now, but the main storms are well up to the north. This is all as a cold front sinks south just to slice through the state, but the outflow boundary from that front is what's pushing these showers and storms into the southern edge of the state. The cold front itself is not going to push all the way south to us. A little bit of a bummer. That's why it's so warm and humid outside. If the front did cross, we'd be seeing a little bit of a cool down, but instead it's going to continue to travel east, leaving us again with that outflow boundary and the storm chances through the rest of this evening. Tomorrow we continue to see this warm, humid pattern, and then finally we have a cold front well off to the west that'll swing through late on Monday, and we will see a drop in our temperatures for the middle of the week. A little bit of a drop in our humidity also. Right now we're at 76 in Madison, close to 88 though in La Crosse. You can see a little cooler on the eastern edge of the state where we do have those showers and storms popping up. Nice dark cloud drops our temperatures just a little bit, but to the west where we're seeing partly sunny skies, those temperatures are just a little higher. Dew point wise though, we are in the mid to low 60s for those dew points, so it does feel just a little humid outside right now. Compared to this time yesterday, that is a jump in our dew points really throughout southern Wisconsin. So in the next few hours, just keep an eye to the sky. We may have a few isolated showers and thunderstorms sliding through, but overnight our skies will steadily become partly cloudy. No storm chances for Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, we do have a slight chance for some storms to come through just because it's going to be so humid outside. By Monday morning, we're quiet and calm in the afternoon, though, as that cold front pushes south. We do have the chance to see some stronger storms come in for Monday late in the day. We have a slight risk for severe weather right now, stretching from Green Bay down to Platteville, covering most of the southern edge of the state. The concern, of course, that those storms could be bringing some heavier rainfall at times and also some stronger wind gusts. Overnight, again, a partly cloudy sky. Temperatures will drop to the mid to low 60s for overnight lows. So not much of a drop for us overnight. Overall, just a mild start to Sunday. 64 is what we're going with in Madison. Again, our skies will steadily become partly cloudy. Throughout the day tomorrow, plan on a partly sunny sky, except for the fact that we may see a few isolated thunderstorms. The chance actually greater for the western edge of the state tomorrow, as today was more easternly. Temperature-wise, we'll be in the mid-80s, so just a little bit above average. That'll stay for Monday also, and then that cold front swings on through, and it does become a little more comfortable for the middle of the week. Temperatures will be closer to average in the upper 70s, near 80 for the middle of the week behind that front. It's also going to be not as humid outside, which means it'll be more comfortable. A nice little stretch there, Adam, after what's turning out to be a bit of a stormy weekend. Again, not a washout, but a little bit of a bummer when those storms do pop up.
Almost time for college football weather.
We are almost getting there. I need it a little cooler, though, before we get to college football weather.
Well, thank you, Dana. And speaking of college football, remember this guy, good old number 12, that's Alex Hornibrook. We'll hear from the former Badger and now Florida State Seminole in sports. And on Fox tonight, a former NFL player is joining thousands of people who are suing the company behind the weed killer Roundup. We'll tell you why, first on Fox at 9.
If the Brewers can find a way to score runs again, they're going to be in pretty good shape. But if they don't start scoring more soon, they'll find themselves fading in the race for the playoffs. Seems like Ryan Braun's the only guy who consistently gets hits for the Brewers at Wrigley. Braun doesn't homer today, but he does drive in the tying run of the 6th. Problem is, that's the only run the Brewers score all day. It's 1-1 in the 7th. Albert Almora Jr. hits one into the left field corner off Junior Guerra. It's hard enough and just high enough into the basket for a home run. Final score, Cubs 4, Brewers 1. They'll close out the series at Wrigley Field tomorrow afternoon at 1:20. The Brewers are now 3 games behind St. Louis in the NL Central. The Cardinals play in Oakland tonight. The Badger football team is hard at it again with practices today and tomorrow. Only 27 more days till that season opener at South Florida on Friday, August 30th. Now we take you to Tallahassee, Florida to stop by practice at Florida State University. Why in the world would he do that? Well, because you all remember number 12, that's Alex Hornibrook, the Badgers' starting quarterback at this time last year. Hornibrook hopes to unseat James Blackman as the Seminoles starter by the end of camp.
When I came down here on the visit, I was really impressed. First of all, with just the guys and the talent on this field, it was pretty crazy. Getting down to the first thing I saw was the receivers. I'd never seen that much talent in a receiver corps before. And then everybody just seemed hungry at that whole practice. It was just kind of a different intensity than I've seen before. These guys have been awesome, getting down here, meeting all them, and they're very welcoming, and just getting through all the workouts with them. It was a real good summer.
The Packers get the day off before a regular practice Sunday. Then the Houston Texans come to Green Bay for joint practices Monday and Tuesday. The first preseason game is Thursday at Lambeau Field. Hard to take much from last night's family night practice, but former Whitewater wide receiver Jake Kummerow continues to impress. He made a couple of great grabs as he tries to secure a roster spot in a very crowded and talented pool of wide receivers. Kummerow says Davante Adams is the leader of that group, and it's up to everyone else to fall in behind him.
Davante's the leader of the pack, no doubt for us. He sets the tempo for our group. He's the leader. We all follow his footsteps. He sets a great example for us. He's a great vet, great pro to be behind. I try to watch him day in and day out.
You can always count on Jake. And matter of fact, I think he dinged his finger in the one-on-ones when he caught a ball too. So, but he's a tough guy. He played through it and made that catch he made on the right sideline was pretty incredible.
Another great day to be at the pool for the second day of the All-City Swim Meet at Westside Swim Club. A little easier to find a parking spot today than yesterday. It's qualifying races for the younger crowd today. You know, we're always looking for the next great one. Perhaps it's Ridgewood's Walter Billmeyer. He leads the qualifiers in the boys 9 and 10 50 backstroke. He'll go for a city championship or 2 or 3 tomorrow. All the finals are tomorrow on the west side. Middleton, the defending team champion. Ridgewood has won 21 of the last 24 All-City meets.
Well, football season is going to be looking a little bit different with a different head coach and a different quarterback, depending on which team you're rooting for in Wisconsin, huh?
Isn't that the beauty of it?
Yeah. And Dana, are we going to have a couple of more days where we can get out in the pool ourselves?
I think if you can get out tomorrow morning, you'll be good to go because we are looking at a hot and humid start to the day. But again, that slight chance for a thunderstorm is going to develop later on. Not a washout, but just a good day to be weather aware. Monday, the storm chances will develop later in the afternoon and evening and linger into a slight chance for early on Tuesday as a cold front pushes through. We do have a slight risk for severe weather late on Monday. So be keeping a close eye on the radar for Monday also. But behind that cold front, we move into a pretty decent pattern for the rest of the week. Mostly sunny skies with temperatures close to average, if not just a little below there in the upper 70s. Overnight lows will also stay closer to about 60 for us heading through the work week. By next weekend, the weather looks pretty okay, and then the following weekend, we are looking at a few more storm chances to develop. So still we have some summertime weather. I know we keep talking about football, and fall will get here soon enough. We still have a few more months before we see temperatures drop off too much.
As long as we keep seeing the sunshine on those graphics.
If we can hold some sun, that would be great. We'll push the storms away a little bit.
All right, folks, thanks for joining us tonight, and have a good rest of your evening.